Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the Bishop, the Tier 5 British SPG. It's located on the north spawn of Siegfried line encounter, and it's under the command of Old Deus Yenga. And I've no idea who the commander of that vehicle is, but you can see 2 marks of excellence on the barrel of the howitzer, which is a 4.5 inch in the game, although the Bishop never carried a 4.5, it only ever carried a 25 pounder. Wow, that Stuart certainly had a bit of a wobble there. Okay, we're starting to move a little closer to the enemy because this is a short range Arty, therefore you have to get fairly close, otherwise you find it difficult to get shots on them. Now, 4.5 inch howitzer is capable of doing 450 alpha, 28 millimeters of pen, and 2.2 meters on the burst radius. The standard reload is 12.37 seconds, and Old Deus has got a reload of 9.92. Is that 8.92? It looks like 9.82 or thereabouts. Okay, well, there is a chaffee inside the cap area. You can't get a shot on him at the moment, but if he keeps backing up like that, he will get hit. That's kind of laid the marker down on the grass and said, yeah, if you back up, you're going to get hit. But we've got a couple of supporters for him a little further off, and he's just adjusting the fire. Panzer III Alstom J gets a hit, and a big one, 224. It looks like the other Arty on our team, Griller, is also firing in the same direction. Rounds out, and that was a direct hit as well. Now, thankfully, he's not looking away, so he is seeing that these tanks are getting hit. And I just saw the gravel torn up nearby, and he's killed the Panzer III. So he's got his first kill in the game. In fact, it's the first kill for his team. But he's now looking for another target. Now, I think there is another enemy tank, a DSPZ, short distance away. Yes, we can see him on the mini-map. But in actual fact, we could also see the ground being disturbed nearby. The first shot gets a direct hit on the DSPZ. He's waiting for the reload to go in. The guy's backing up, so we're firing in his path, but he changed direction. That was a very clever move by him, because of course it means that if a shot was pre-aimed, it's more likely going to miss. But here we've got a T-28, which is sitting still, and he takes a hit for a 213. Now you can probably see that Old Deus Yenga actually does have purple markings on the tables, and that indicates that he is actually quite a practiced player, possibly a super unicum. And, well, not everyone on the enemy team is. He's just destroyed, or track destroyed, the T-28, and the T-28 was killed by our T-28. We're now going for a lager. He takes a hit. Oh, he's on fire! He's on fire, and he's actually just burnt up, so that is an arsonist medal as well as a hit. So he's not only got the fire, he's also got arsonist. Dialing in on the DSPZ, rounds out, and that's another direct hit. Now, is he going to... He's holding the aim on there by holding down his right-hand mouse key whilst looking around for other targets. It looks like the DSPZ just took another hit. Now, you see he's doing that, but he's actually holding the aim and then firing with his left mouse button. Of course, he couldn't get a shot there, but you can see this Matilda just outside range, but he's actually moving his Bishop to get closer so he can get a direct hit. And we can now see that DSPZ was in the same spot. He just got a shot on the Matilda. He's waiting for the reload to go in. Another rounds out. And he gets another hit, 143. He's racking up the damage. He's well over 1,000 hit points of damage already. And now he's going to try and get this DSPZ, who's continuing to stay there, even though he's firing our teammates here. And he got a hit. And the DSPZ is killed by our P-43. Okay, so he's looking around for another target. This Churchill 3 at the back is outside range. You can see we've got a grey line extending to the Churchill. But as you can see, the green line is extending and getting closer. And that's because Old Deus Yenga is actually moving his Bishop to get closer without actually looking where he's driving. So he's now really close. He's almost fully dialed in. He's loaded. Rounds out. Going for the engine deck. Yes, he gets it. And he gets another fire. It looked like that was a penetrating shot as well. And he claims another kill. And now he's just found the enemy bishop. Or rather, one of his teammates has. And he can see an Su-85B behind that bunker. Now, these shells are coming down almost vertically on the enemy, which makes them very good at destroying tanks who try to hide behind objects like bunkers. There's only 5 enemy tanks left in the game. The bishop's just gone. The Su-85 and the Stug 3 Ausführung B are both out in the field, both of them hiding behind bunkers. But our teammates are now moving to try and spot them, including an M5A1. He's had a particularly good game because, of course, he has been wiping out enemy tanks by setting light to them, by aiming for the engine deck, actually. But, of course, Old Deus Younger, or Yenga, is actually a very good player. He knows how to do this. And, oh, now, he's not only spotted the gorilla, but he's also spotted a Stug 3 Ausführung B, who's fairly close. And he kills the gorilla with one shot. He's now trying to get that Hetzer. I don't think the Stug is going to interrupt Old Deus, but here he is. He suddenly got tracked. Now, can we get a shot? Because he's now lost his repair kit, and he just got hit with one shot, a snapshot. He's now going to try and get another one. He's got a red line now, so the buildings near him are in the way. So instead, he decides to go after the Hetzer, but he's actually now outside our field of fire. The buildings near Old Deus are actually blocking the shot. He's moved a bit, but now he can get a shot in the Hetzer. Oh, I think he tracked him there. Critical damage. I think that was a track. Okay, he's going to do it again. Rounds out. Yes, he does get a hit this time. 194. We are capping at this moment as well. So that's forcing the enemy to try and get close to our cap area. Rounds out. That's a kill. That's his 5th kill of the game. The enemy is now starting to move into the town to try and get a reset on the cap. We're after the Stug 3 Ausführung B. We have to avoid that M5 Stuart as we come past them. Now that Stug is only a short distance away, but he's only 98 hit points. And if we can hit him hard enough with a shotgun, he should die. So we're going to go round the corner, I think, and encounter him. He's actually decided to go the other way round. We're going to come up behind him if we can. There he is. Auto aim on. Now, yes, gets him with one shot. That's a Top Gun. There's only one enemy remaining, and it's a Stug 85B. Now, you saw this one before. He's auto aiming on, because he knows he's manually aiming it. And now it's the Stug's turn. Ouch! That's an 85mm round, but he just tried to ram us, and he goes down to a shot from the M5A1 Stuart, and that is a victory for Old Deus. Here's the end of battle stats, and Old Deus Yenga actually called this one of the most filthiest games he's played in the Bishop. It was an ace tanker game as well as an arsonist. In fact, he set light to 2 enemy tanks and burned them to death, I think it was, as well as a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 27 in that game. He got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle, a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. He didn't get the last one, the Su-85, and in fact he took a shot from an 85mm round, which did penetrate him, but he was able to ram the guy, and that actually took away most of his hit points, and the M5A1 Stuart, the Chinese Stuart, actually managed to save the day by taking out the enemy. His win rate from that game was 17,683, so I think you can see how dirty it really was. Old Deus is a very, very good Bishop player. Let's have a look at team score. Well, the highest damage he did in that game was 3,763 hit points. That's absolutely massive. Even a tier 10 Arty would be happy with that amount. The second highest damage in the game was the Su-85 he rammed at the end, 1,469, and the enemy bishop got 1,122. They weren't even in his ballpark when it came to damage. When it came to kills, he managed to get 6, which earned him a top gun. The next highest being the P-43 and the M5A1 Stewart, who got the last kill of the game. They both got 3 kills, and 2 kills went to the Su-85, the Hetzer, the Gorilla, and the Churchill 3 on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, yep, he got that one too. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,309 base experience points. The next highest being the Covenanter, who got 689, and 620 went to the P-43. So he's the only player in the game who managed to get over 1,000 base. He fired 26 rounds. Now, this Arty actually carries in total 39 rounds of ammunition. So he did have 13 rounds left at the end of the game. He got 19 direct hits and 3 penetrating shots. In fact, the fires were actually obtained on the ones which penetrated because, of course, they went through the engine deck, set light to the tanks. 22 splash damage as well, 3,768 hit points, of which 3,430 were at more than 300 meters. One of those was the Stug, who he shotgunned at reasonably close range. He did it correctly. He auto-aimed onto the target to make it an easier kill. And as soon as he'd done that kill, he turned to face the Stug, who was coming towards him. Now, more credit to him, he actually manually aimed that one rather than auto-aim, although I probably would have auto-aimed myself. But he stood his ground as well, and even after the Su-85 rammed himself into the hull, which of course, remember, is a Valentine II tank, which is a tier 4 light tank, but it's a pretty heavy tank at that. This Arty actually weighs 20 tons in total, but the Su-85 rammed himself into him. And of course, the Su-85 is a fairly light tank in terms of its weight. And therefore, the Su-85 came off worse than he did, actually, in the end. And even though he took an 85mm round from that Su-85, his teammate was able to get the kill shot before he died. He actually received 1 hit. It was a penetrating shot. That was the 85mm. 11 enemy vehicles were damaged. 6 were killed. He got 288 hit points of damage assistance. That's where he tracked the enemy. And then his teammates managed to get the kill because of the track. On a premium count, he actually made a profit of 30,144 credits from the game. He also picked up 25 bonds as well. And he also got 1,963 experience points. So a very, very good game by old Deus Yenga in the of the RDDTM clan in the Bishop. Now, this is not the only video we've got. Actually, we have somebody else who's also in the Bishop. So let's have a look at his replay. And here's the second game, and you can see the Bishop is on the north spawn of Serene Coast, and it's under the command of M5 Multitronic Unit. Well, if you don't know, the M5 Multitronic Unit was the computer that was put in charge of the Enterprise in Star Trek. I can't remember the name of the episode, but certainly remember it because it was quite a very clever episode where actually the humans were supposed to become redundant because the machines would take over. But in actual fact, the machine went wrong because, of course, the scientist who devised it was actually part insane, or not insane, but he was having a mental breakdown. And unfortunately, the computers started having a mental breakdown as well and started targeting the human ships. Okay, well, we've got a Rudy, the Polish T-34. He fired a round in, then pulled back immediately after he did so. But we know that he got a direct hit because there was no explosion on the ground after he fired. Now, this is just the way that M5 Multitronic Unit likes to play. He wants to look back, or rather pull back, so he can see what happens to the shot. So long as he actually does see what happens to it, obviously then he knows if he's got a strike or not, if the shell actually did do something. Now, you can see there that big OI went behind the rock again. Unfortunately, that shell didn't hit the target. Now, he has seen enemy tanks over on the peninsula, and from his current position, he can lay shells down on top of him, and he fires at KB2. It's a brilliant hit, and he set light to the guy as well. So he's actually burning a KB2 at the moment. He got 172 from that, and his concentration skill is now coming into operation. There's the Rudy he hit earlier. In fact, we can see the damage he did. It's over nearly just 200 hit points of damage, just under 200. Okay, fires another round into the same spot, but that one doesn't hit because it explodes on the ground. There's the KB. No, that's a different KB2. The other one is over in a short distance away, dialing in the aim as quickly as he can, and he does get a direct hit for 129. Now the KB2R he just fired at a while back and set light to, it's now down to 225 hit points. If he can get another shot, he might actually get a kill out of this one. Rounds out. Well, he gets 180 hit points for sure. And now we can see that OI he aimed at before. He's trying to line the shot up, but you can see there that the green line was stopping with the red line. The building was actually in the way. The position he's picked to fire from is fairly good because he's got cover on two sides. But unfortunately, he's going to have to move if he needs to get hits on all the enemy. And he doesn't want to be too close to the enemy. The problem with the Bishop, you see, is it's a short-range Arty. You have to get close if you want to get damage. And he's getting very close to the enemy. And if he does get spotted, he could take him into the game. Okay, M4A376 wet. Rounds out. That's a kill. Overwhelmed him there. He didn't even need to get a penetrating shot. All he needed to do was make sure the shell hit the target. Now that OI is getting remarkably close and he's already got a lot of hit points. And the fact that the red line appeared at such a short distance, I think that's down to the building he's sitting next to being so tall. But it's also an indication that the enemy tank is actually too close. He's actually trying to lob a shell at the enemy, and instead of going up and over, he's trying to shoot directly. That forces the howitzer to come down, and then the buildings get in the way. So if you're too close to the enemy, you need to back off to protect yourself. Well, fires at the OI, but it was just slightly to one side. Notice how he's moving after each shot to make sure that he has a shot, a potential shot. Missed out on getting the T67 there. Now he's decided to move behind this rock just for the moment to give a bit of cover. There's also that Rudy. Fires a snap at him, doesn't work. You need to dial in accurately to get a close shot, to get an accurate shot. You can also see that we're moving on the peninsula. The enemy tanks that are out there have been wiped out, and that means now that he's trying to defend the cap area all alone with his VP teammate, the 105 Lefh ACV2, who's behind the cap area, is the only other player who's nearby. The enemy, the furthest one away, the Burza, has just been wiped out, and that means now that the enemy is going to have to return to their own cap or suffer the fates. So we've got an enemy Matilda here, and he's got a purple square on the left side of his name. That indicates he's a Unicum standard player. So it's a marking which you can get from Aslanes using the mods. Tells you the quality of the player you're firing or you're up against. Now the enemy Bishop's just been discovered, and he's very close to their cap area. It won't take long for them to get a kill. And we're just seeing the strip, and we've just lost our teammate into the PP. Now the enemy started capping, and we may have to go round the corner to get to the rock. Now if the strip stops capping, it could be that they are coming after us. But I suspect they will continue to cap because there is no... there are people capping on our team at the other end. So all we need is one small reset, although it could cost us. If we can get a reset, then we will be ahead of the enemy. And there's, well, they have got a Matilda 4 nearby. Okay, we're going to be manually aiming this. So there he is. In fact, it's the, oh, well, he got a reset on one of them. Unfortunately, it's the OI. Now they may leave the cap area, and we have been wiped out.
Everyone get out.
We did get one kill. We got wiped out, but we did reset. And look at that. They've capped out to win at the other end. And so we've won the game. Very well done from M5 Multitronic Unit. Well, there's no doubt to me that the person who won that game for his team was M5 Multitronic Unit of the MCBB clan in his Bishop. He went in there and got a reset. He actually thought about trying to reset both of them at the same time because both tanks were nearby. We only needed to reset one, and that was the one eventually that actually killed him with a shot. Yes, it was the Striv M4257 who got the kill shot on him. But he did get the reset, and as a consequence, his teammates at the other end could cap out with 3 tanks, and therefore he basically gave them the win on a plate. You can see here he got a 3rd-class tanker for that game, as well as a bruiser middle for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 6. His win rate in that game was 3,360, which is Super Unicum standard, and he really was the player who won the game. We look at team score, we can see he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the KB2 on his team, who got a high caliber for 2,405 hit points of damage. Second highest damage actually went to M5 Multitronic Unit. He got 1,301. And the third highest damage went to the M4A3 76 Wet, who managed 1,094 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, we can see the high scorers were the KB2 on our team, the Striv M4257, the guy who killed M5 in the end. He got 3 kills, and 2 kills went to the M4A3 76 Wet on the enemy team. The Rudy and the T67 all had 2 kills apiece. When it came to base XP, or when it came to Multitronic Unit, he only got the 1 kill, but he's not worried about that. He did get a kill in the game. But when it came to base XP, you can see the KB2 got 1,187, the Cromwell got 589, the Poodle got 561. We can see M5 Multitronic Unit got 492. Now, there was one player on the enemy team, the Rudy, who actually managed to get 497, but it didn't really help him because he lost the game, and that makes M5 Multitronic Unit with 5 players ahead of him, 1 on the enemy team. That puts him in 7th place when it came to base XP. He fired 19 shots. Now, as I said before, this vehicle carries 39 rounds, so he still had 20 left at the end of the game. But his heroic run to intercept and interrupt the cap actually won the game. Got 8 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, but 11 splash. 1,301 hit points of damage, of which 1,103 were at more than 300 meters. Now, I actually thought that shot on the KB2R that set him alight was a penetrating shot. Turned out it wasn't actually, but it was enough to set him. Alight, and he did get some damage from that. But it reduced the hit points of that KB2R to make it easier for somebody else to get the kill. He received 3 hits, all from the Striv M4257. Of course, it's an autoloader with 4 shots in the magazine, and he had reloaded, so he could easily get the Bishop. So he took him out altogether. 7 enemy vehicles were hit, 1 was killed, and he actually got 49 defense points when he reset the cap. And on a free-to-play account, he actually made 9,996 credits profit, and 984 XP out of the game as well. But as I said, they wouldn't have won the game were it not for M5 Multitronic Unit. He was the hero because he went in there, got the reset, and then allowed his teammates to cap out and win. So very well done by M5 Multitronic Unit. 2 different games, but both winners in their own way because, of course, they won the game for their team. Hope you enjoyed both of those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.